Back against the wind. Wing. Wing. Hey, everybody, it's Mikala of the Mad Music Podcast. I'm with my lovely co-host, as you can hear, Aubrey and Dami.
Hey, y'all.
We're the podcast that talks about music that moves us in a myriad of ways. How you guys doing today?
I'm good.
So good.
I'm working today. That's a good thing.
Most important. I know. Usually we record on days that we've worked, so we're always like,
right.
and surviving.
Right.
What Sabrina say? Bitching and moaning.
Yes.
Yes. Literally. Okay, good. Now that we're doing all right, let's get into our choke codes. Let's be choking, y'all.
Yes. So it's still Kendrick, but I'm not gonna say another Kendrick song. But I was on Twitter as I usually am, and someone posted this video of this lady called Jay Stevens or Jay Stephans, and this song called Body Favors. It sounded like it was produced by the Neptunes or like by Pharrell, but it wasn't. It sounded like a 2000s like R&B pop girly type of vibe, and it's cool. It's a dance song. I think you'll like this song for real.
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds like Body Favors.
Body Favors.
What's the name of the group again?
It's a lady called Jay Stevens or Jay Stephans. She's okay, and apparently she's been out for a while. But I think this is a song that's really like get her on the map.
Gotcha. Body Favor. Okay. Are you writing down? Oh, I thought you were writing down.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I was really did. My iPad. Because I'm like, y'all, I listen to the songs you talk about.
I listen.
Excuse me, I have to listen, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I did write it down because I'm like, you said 2000s pop R&B?
You'll like it.
My ears went up.
A little Neptune sound, like you will love it.
On purpose.
Right.
Yes. Well, it's still Kendrick over here.
Period.
Listen, y'all, I literally tried to listen to other stuff, and I like kept going back to GNX. It kind of felt like how it felt when Renaissance dropped, like, and because when you listen to one song, you listen to the whole album. So I just kept going back to GNX this week. I was like trying to stuff, and I was like, damn, I really want to hear Men in the Garden. Anyway, but my chokehold is Hey Now, Say Now, because let me tell you something. When that second beat come in, I be like, I need to learn how to crip walk for real. That shit goes so hard.
Yeah.
And then when he hit I guess that's the bridge. I'm starting to see it. I see the aliens, hands. Like that shit goes so hard.
See me do my
dance.
What?
That shit's hard.
That shit goes so hard. Mustard did his thing on that production. It is so good. And then when Dodie 6 come in, he's like, "Who the fuck? I feel like Joker." I mean, like,
oh, he came in hard.
So Cali, so Southern California,
like all his features,
LA, so Compton, so
all
whatever.
His features on this album has been top.
Yeah,
top tier.
So that song, I hope it. I've seen it like more people starting like to dance to it and stuff like that, and then definitely liking that Dodie part. So I'm seeing it getting even more traction. But I absolutely love that song from beginning to end. It's West Coast. You can dance to it. Like it's a vibe. Dodie sounds great. I think Dodie just got out of jail earlier this year, and now he on this song and got like his first feature. So I love that as well.
Don't be doing nothing bad, Dodie.
Yeah, Dodie. Like, seize the moment, Dodie. Seize the moment.
Dodie,
right.
please.
Don't go back. Don't go back.
Probation and all that. Go to court when you need to go to court, Dodie. Don't let them be looking for you in an award show. You have the award show, Dodie. Right. Please.
Your probation officer watching. He watching.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I hear you on that song. I'm gonna be watching your ass.
So this is your career. So this is your career now.
Right. Oh, like a Joker. So what you be doing? I know what Joker be doing.
So yeah, but no, that Hey Now is a great fucking. I mean, the whole album, but that's a great song. It's a great song.
I mean, the album is great. Yeah,
I mean, you already know.
Whole album is 10 out of 10. Well, we said 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
That's high.
Yeah, that's high. That's an album. My chokehold is I was just doing a little bit of rewinding, I guess, since we were going through our Spotify rap and all that stuff, and I revisited like old songs that I was into back in the day. I can't remember. I think it's like who does the rewind? Spotify, they do a rewind sometimes, like of all the old songs that you used to like in like the summer of 2017 and this and that. Yeah. So I was listening to Hard to Do by K. Michelle. From her. Yes.
Wow.
This is from her Anybody Want to Buy a Heart album, which is a great album. I love that album.
It is.
And I just remember the song like choking me, and I was hooked, obviously, because it has that Kissing You, and it was an interpolation, or I guess it's a sample in a way too. But I think she did it perfectly in that one. So I was hooked. When I heard that, I said, "Oh, that's my song by Total." So as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like this song," and I did. So I was listening to that over and over again during work the other day. I was like, "Ooh,
okay, it is a good album.
It's a good album.
Yeah,
it is. She be doing her thing now.
Yes, she has a song. I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. Maybe I should call.
She's talking about Idris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said he's in a relationship now. I can't be with him.
Hey, Michelle, I get it, girl. I get it. I get it. That's a beautiful man.
That must have been a time for her.
It must have been a time.
Okay.
It had to be.
She probably be waking up in the middle of the night with flashbacks. Like,
she probably can't even see none of his movies no more. She's like, oh.
Right.
I remember that chest.
You can't even hear a British accent. She's like, can you go to UK?
Damn.
I get it, girl. I get it.
Oh, Lord. Can't win them all, you know?
Well.
Let us know what you guys have been listening to, as always. Put you on to put on. Musical mess. I didn't really get that messy today.
Okay.
We ain't got time for that. Yeah. But keep it cute. We kind of talked about it in our group chat yesterday, but I was watching the Breakfast Club interview with Doechii. They asked her decent questions today. I think when they like the artist or they know them very well, they'll ask them good questions. She was even apprehensive. She was like, I was a little bit nervous today because Charlamagne, you are a wild card, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get from you. They were like, we had a good time the last interview, and they did. The last interview, or her first interview with them, was pretty good. So I was like, oh, okay, I can understand. But what you said? Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you're right. Like, when they like the artist or they really know it, they're always nicer. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to ask quality questions regardless of.
Yeah.
You guys
how you feel.
Of course, y'all already know how I feel about DJ Envy and his questions. Number one, and he always talking about something. You guys have like a number one podcast talking about something. For people who don't know, they obviously do know. Never mind. And then the other day. Before that, I was watching a Tika Sumpter podcast. Just side note, not podcast, the interview where she was on, and y'all seen Tika Sumpter before on different things, and they were talking about her being in Sonic, and Charlamagne is like, "Oh, so like, how's your voice, like, in Sonic and whatever?" She's like, "It's live action. I'm in the movie. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't watch it."
What? And he's usually the one that watches or reads.
He's usually the one who watches, and he knows Tika. Like, they have like somewhat of a friendship or whatever, casual, maybe social media based, but like I was like, that's embarrassing. Like, I would be, if I couldn't be an artist or anything, because I can't hide how I feel.
I'd be like, why are we here?
I'd be like, the interview over now.
Right.
Are we done? Are you finished?
The one thing I'm here to talk about, you didn't watch.
You didn't watch.
Like, you didn't even. To me, like, even though I don't even think Sonic 3 came out yet, you don't even have to watch Sonic 3 to know that it's live action. There's 2 Sonics ahead of it. What the freak?
Exactly.
Anyway,
these guys.
Sorry, tangent. But during the interview with Doechii, they were talking, there's speculation that she's going to be the opener for Kendrick and SZA on the tour. And she was basically like, she didn't give much of a straight answer. She was like, I have not met. Yeah, she said, I have not met Kendrick. I don't know what Kendrick has up his sleeve. I don't know what's to come, but I know that I am prepared to receive any opportunity that comes my way. But truly, I have no idea. Do you guys think that Doechii will be the opener for Kendrick and SZA?
It makes
sense.
No
other choice. Yeah, there's no other choice. In my mind.
Why not?
She has
Why not?
she has a song with SZA.
Yes.
She's on TDE.
Yes.
It makes sense. And them asking that question was a good idea because I was wondering why she wasn't an opener for Tyler the Creator's tour next year when she has a song on his album, and I'm like, it might be because
she booked, baby.
She booked. She booked Kendrick.
And Kendrick gave her a cosign when her album dropped. I think he put on his Instagram.
She's the hardest out.
Yep.
The hardest. Yep. The hardest out.
So the hardest. Yeah. So I it makes sense. Like fans of Kendrick and SZA are definitely fans of Doechii, right? Like I said, SZA and Doechii both on TDE, so it's not like you have to deal with any other labels or anything like that. You can keep it in the family, keep it in house. It makes sense. She's a great performer, and this is a great. She had this album that came out. She got Grammy nominations. She started to do these performances on TV, Tiny Desk, The Colbert Show. And it's people are like, oh my gosh, I like her. I like this. She's creative. It's different. It's refreshing.
Yes.
Like I love her style. It's unique. Why it makes sense to put her on this tour?
It makes so much sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
They all mesh very well together. And again, great performer, just like Kendrick, has music with SZA. She had her little mini tour when she released her mixtape last year or this year. And, it's not like she had to perform in the stadium before. She was the opener for Beyonce during Renaissance at one of her dates. So it's like she has experience.
In LA.
In LA. Ooh. And
in
again,
LA.
she is a great performer. You will not be disappointed.
No.
And for the price of them tickets, you might as well.
She also said that Beyonce, actually, their team only told her maybe like a day or two before she was going to be on stage opening for her. So and she was, and people have said that performance was like one of the top opening performances of the, whole tour. So, I mean, she's got it. She's got the creativity. She's got the team behind her. She has everything she needs to be the opener. There's no other way. They even asked her about like if she would be in the Super Bowl. She's like, I have no idea. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know. But she did. I'm going.
No, go ahead.
She did confirm that she was actually dropping her debut album next year in 2025.
I saw that too, yeah.
We will be listening to another Doechii album, which I will be excited about. Yeah, she obviously we've been saying album. And we did say mixtape when we were talking about Alligator Bites, Never Heal, but I'm excited for
body of work.
Her debut. Yeah, her big boy.
When you got it, you got it. When you got it, you got it.
And you're doing all this off of a mixtape? What? God bless you, girl.
Crazy.
It kind of feels like Victoria Monet, like how she kind of took off this year. And things just started falling into place. It kind of feels the same way for Doechii. So keep the momentum going. Keep the momentum going.
Yeah, it's like when you have the opportunity, you have all eyes on you. You might as well go on everything. Like I've been seeing people, haters, a certain stand,
I saw that,
complaining she's all over the place. Like I feel like they're forcing her on. It's like no, she's an artist, and this back in the day, for those who didn't know how artists used to run their music and promote their music back in the day, they will be on every.
You go on the talk shows. You go on all the late night shows. If you look at interviews of your favorite artists, I'm sure you'll find them on a late night show. Like it's
all that.
Even if it's not your. Even if it's not your favorite artist, you'll be like, oh, who is this? There are plenty of people who are like, oh, I never heard of this person, but I saw them on The Colbert Show. I saw them on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. I saw them on blah, blah, blah. Like,
this is how it works, guys. This is
how it works in the music industry. Like,
this was the actual rollout. Like, this is what used to happen.
That's how it's supposed to be. Exactly.
Right. Yes. They just think everything got to be on TikTok and Instagram, but that's new.
How dare they?
Going on shows, that's the OG way that people would go out and buy your single and buy your album and get exposed to you, right? There was no such thing as Spotify and Apple Music back then. If you didn't hear it on the radio or you didn't see it on TV, you were not aware of it. So this is how people were able to build gain that exposure and build a fan base by going into these different channels.
Not only that,
you do it.
It also co-signs the artist. Like it helps them have some sort of legitimacy. And not to say that they wouldn't have it if they didn't go on, but that just goes to show oh, this person knows what they're doing. If they're invited to these big stages, and yes, they might be little, but they're big audiences that they reach. So that's what I mean by big stages. So it's What's
And
wrong with y'all?
you also have to think about the fact that she's Grammy nominated, 4-time Grammy nominated.
Exactly.
The Grammys are next year. This is the time where they start promoting, start pushing, because honestly, like a lot of the Grammy voters,
you have to see
they
them.
don't have time. Yes,
exactly.
They don't have time to listen to the whole album and the whole mixtape. They don't have time to listen to everybody's projects. So this is the opportunity for them to watch. We're all their home and they're eating their dinner and like, oh, don't she? Oh yeah, she's like Grammy nominated, right? Let me check out what she's doing. And they're like, oh, best rap performance. Wow.
I remember seeing her on Tiny Desk. I remember seeing her on blah blah blah, and I loved her performance there, and I loved her performance. Like, come on,
these girls don't get it. They think because you got more streams that's supposed to be enough, or that means that you're supposed to win something. No, baby, you gotta work.
You have to work.
This is a job. Work. Beyonce was putting in the work. I know now she doesn't have to do much, but let me tell you something. Matthew had Beyonce as everywhere.
They were everywhere. Everywhere.
You have to work. It's a job. You have to promote. You have to like do all that goes into wanting to be an artist and wanting to be. You want everybody to listen to your music, like as an artist. You don't want it to be a broad audience. Come on now.
And I say this every time because malls aren't as big as they used to be anymore. But the artists used to be performing at malls. I saw Rihanna at Jersey Gardens Mall in Elizabeth during Ponder Replay. That was also part of their tour. Okay,
it sure was. It sure was.
Y'all kids don't know nothing about that. Y'all kids don't know nothing about
that. She was also saying in an interview that Top Dog had actually given her a Nissan Altima.
That's hilarious.
When she went to LA.
That's hilarious.
Even though she did wreck it. She's like, I didn't know how to drive. LA driving is different. And I thought that was interesting. And then the next news I just wanted to bring up again, because this is a little bit of a throwback to a while ago, but y'all remember when Jamie Foxx had collapsed and was in a coma and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And we were like, what the heck happened? And then we never really heard what happened. But, he's coming out with the Netflix special, What Had Happened Was. And I think by the time this airs, it will already be out and streaming. But so they did say there was a source from People magazine that was there during the live taping, and they were saying that he actually collapsed due to exhaustion and like just being overworked. And we know Jamie Foxx be working; he be on all the game shows, he be doing movies. Yeah. I'm sure he probably still be trying to do an album with his behind. He loves music, so I wouldn't be surprised if he be working on something. But at that time, he was filming his new movie with Cameron Diaz, Back in Action, that's supposed to be coming out next year. And he actually passed out in the elevator. And he was saying that he thought that it was only a couple of hours that he was out. Turns out it was actually a couple of weeks when he was in the coma. And he was saying that his daughter was the one who kept playing songs on her guitar to him in the hospital. And that essentially is what helped him get out of the coma, because he was saying he could recall hearing the music in his sleep, which I thought was very lovely.
Wow.
And apparently he couldn't walk for a while, and he still they still don't know exactly what happened, but they're saying due to exhaustion and all that stuff, that's why his body just gave out. And I could believe that. I mean, I know that we always speculate, it must be drugs, it must be this, or it must be that, but I truly can believe, as somebody who's been everywhere and always is everywhere, it's possible for him to actually just his body just give out. I mean, you have to replenish somehow, some way. I mean, but I thought that would be interesting to bring up now that we know that some of what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy because it was all so mysterious. What the hell is going on?
And that's why he had that video, I'm alive.
Yeah, it was scary because he's a beloved artist and entertainer, so it was oh gosh, hope he doesn't go. But I look forward to seeing the special, and finding out whatever he wants to share, finding out more about what happened in his experience. I've been seeing some things float around, but I'll wait for the special to come out.
Yeah,
interested. Well, you guys tell me how it is. They said that he's going to be doing a lot of different things. He's he's a variety type of guy. He likes to sing, act, tell stories, all that stuff. So
I would like an album, though. I ain't gonna lie. I would love an album. Oh, I love him singing.
He can sing.
The album was good. So I'm just
It was.
Yeah, you can act, and I love Jamie Foxx show, but if you could do a little album, that'd be nice too.
I used to love when he was singing the Jamie Foxx show.
Yes, he always sang. He always found a way to sing
anytime he could. That Mary J. Blige episode.
Yes, share my world. Yes.
Anything else, ladies, on your heart or mind?
I don't think I really saw any. Did I see anything too crazy this week? Not that I
just see the Drake thing was real. The Drake lawsuit, they ended up making it real or something like that.
Oh,
what
really?
you mean?
Oh, I thought they said. I think UMG they have until. I think they have.
There's a court
December
date.
20th.
Yeah.
There's a court date.
Provide whatever information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, but y'all know how we feel about it. It is what it is.
Do you think he dropped it in time at this time? So I don't know what will be the end result, but like, do you think he's doing that to prevent Kendrick from performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl?
How?
Because if this is defamation, like the defamation lawsuit.
I don't know I don't know exactly what is in this petition. You know, I know it's two separate things, if I'm not mistaken, and they had to listen. We don't know legalese,
right?
I
saw Rico. I said Rico
and Rico and all that stuff. I don't know, but like,
I assume like if someone wins,
I can see what you're saying. Like with that, I can understand like if that could be a thing.
The defamation has to be proven though. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Obviously, like lawsuits can drag, but if for some reason it ended right before Super Bowl and it was proven that it was defamation, I'm sure that's probably a part of it. Like you can't play it anymore. It cannot be on streaming platforms.
But do we think that Kendrick would listen to him? Even if it was a law, like he would probably just give up the money because it's not like he got to go to jail. He don't have to go to jail. He just have to pay a fine or something.
I mean, Kendrick is UMG,
that too. You think
I think in a perfect world, our legal system wouldn't be so fucking slow. But like, I'm thinking about like the defamation lawsuit against what was it, Johnny Depp? I think. Think about how long
it took. A long time. Yeah.
Think about how long it took. This is not going to be settled before beginning of February. You got to think about like the holidays and all that stuff.
It's not serious compared to like murders and all that other stuff. And like So he probably. I don't think he would have enough time.
Y'all figure that out. I'm in the set list. Fuck y'all and fuck him.
I do think it'll be censored though, because I know he ain't gonna say no pedophile. It's the Super Bowl. Like when they talk about different ads, look at what happened with Janet. Even though that's different, right? Because that's a whole body part that was exposed. But I feel like when it comes to a primetime show and a primetime performance, they probably have to approve. Someone has to approve whatever you're gonna say or what's gonna be covered, what's gonna be censored. Yeah, I feel like. But
maybe he'll just say another part of the song. He'll just say, I think he might just do another part of the song, right? Like, or maybe he'll just do the chorus because he's not probably gonna do like the whole verse. He's gonna do that verse at the concert, but I think at the Super Bowl he might just do the chorus, or like a piece of a verse. Yeah, like something like that. Oh, he might do that, but he don't have to say that certified, or he might do A minor. Like he might do that, but. I think they'll find a creative way to work around it. But no, the defamation has to be proven in order for you to not be able to say it anymore. And I do not think that case is going to be settled anytime before February. So Drake, too little, too late.
I was going to say, think how many times they, chop and screw all types of songs for the Super Bowl. They cut it all sorts of ways. So I wouldn't be surprised.
And the damage is done. The damage is done. Even if Not Like Us went away, it's forever.
This is probably they're already thinking that Not Like Us is one of the biggest beef songs ever. Yeah, so it's done.
Yeah. Most definitely.
It's done, Draco. Draky boy.
Right. On to the next then. Our hook today is about finally our Spotify Wrapped. Thank you, Dami, for getting on the horn and calling them and telling them we need that.
I had to make my calls.
She put the call ring on.
What they say at work? Can you add that to your agenda? Can you add that to your task list?
Brother,
I'm following up on this item on the agenda.
Following up on the item.
Since we didn't get to it last time.
So thank you so much, Dami. I appreciate that. But today the hook is about our Spotify Wrap. We did have an episode called the pre-wrap, which we predicted which songs we think would be on there. What were your predictions, ladies? And did the predictions come true? Were you spot on?
I mean, like 100% spot the freak on. Yeah, I was listening to the pre-wrap earlier. And I was like, okay, what songs did I say? So I said in the pre-wrap that Saturn was going to be in my top 5. Euphoria and Truth or Dare, and baby, Euphoria was number 2, Truth or Dare was number 3, and Saturn was number 5. Like,
there you go.
I already knew.
You already knew. Yeah. What about you, Dami?
You know what? I was actually kind of surprised by my top 5. I mean, I already knew one of those was going to be Euphoria. Like, I already knew Euphoria, but the rest of it, I was like, I knew like maybe a Beyonce song will be on there, which there was a Beyonce song, but like.
I thought it was Cowboy Carter, right? Yeah.
And I thought the rest would be like Kitchenada songs. But Kitchenada just missed it. It was like 6 through 10.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Mine was pretty spot on. Like all the artists that I said would be in there are in there, except for Fred wasn't in my top 5, but he was on my list of songs that, and it was the exact same song, "Give Me a Clean Heart," that was in my top 2024 songs. And then Beyonce was on there. Like I said, I love Cowboy Carter. And Brandy, of course. Brandy was my top artist across all platforms.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Over Anita?
Brandy, yes. Brandy was my top artist. Even in Apple Replay, when I looked at that, I was like, of course, yes.
I mean, a lot of your chokeholds this year was a lot of Brandy songs.
You're right. Yeah. Was
no judgment.
Justice for Alma.
Justice for Alma.
Listen, I think because I have so much variety, Alma, that it is, somewhat of a shocker.
Not after saying justice in it.
No, that's the reason. It's not just shade, it's the reason.
You're right back.
But you know what? Chloe made her way in my top artist again.
Really?
Yes. It's that one song that I kept playing over and over. All I got. I kept playing that.
Oh, all I got.
That's the opener of Trouble in Paradise. And I was like, all right, I can believe that. But that's Beyonce, so Chloe, Kitchenada, Brandy, and Marvin Gaye were my top artists.
Oh wow!
I was actually surprised by Marvin Gaye. I was like, what? But I can also, because we did Motown, I can also believe it.
Oh, maybe,
yeah.
And I listen to a lot of like Motown music or like duets.
Ain't nothing. That's true. We did have those episodes too.
We had those episodes, yeah. So they were saying like in the beginning of the year it was definitely heavy Marvin Gaye. Do you guys have like your stats about the minutes you guys listened to, or how? Yeah. What were those like?
So my minutes listen was 71,174 minutes. I said, damn.
That makes sense.
Damn.
Music lover. What about you, Alma?
So mine was higher than last year. I think last year it was like 20 something, but this year was 39,872 minutes I listened to music this year. And just real quick, I realized I didn't say my top artists. In order, it was SZA, Beyonce, Kendrick, Kanye, and a new entry that's never been there before, Usher. Usher was number 5.
Usher's never been there before. Okay.
Never.
Prepare for the concert.
I was going to say, you did go to the concert. Yeah.
It was the concert. It was the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Shit, I feel like that was 10 years ago.
It does.
So yeah, he got in there. But I've listened to more music this year. 10,000 more minutes.
I think we had an extra episode.
We did.
Because of the album.
They call me USHER. That was the episode if you want to listen.
Yes. Can you guys guess how many minutes I listened to? I think I was the highest.
She's always the highest, so I know it gotta be at least 80.
You're right, Dami. It's 81,237 minutes of music, and that's not including the amount of music that I also listened to on Apple as well.
Damn.
I listen to a lot of albums during work and playlists and stuff. So I think that's what accounts for all the minutes. But I also just love listening to I will turn my TV off and just listen to music and stuff sometimes. Turn my TV off.
Hey.
Right. My goal is to get to 50,000 minutes next year.
You want goal?
Yes, I'm saying it now.
To be quite honest, I'm surprised that you have the lowest. I don't know why. I thought that you would have at least been in the 50s ranges well before us. Or
I wonder. I'm sure it does, but like when I listen to it on my I listen to a lot of music on my Echo when I'm like cleaning or I'm cooking. But it has to count, right? Like that has to count towards
phone, right? It's your Bluetooth.
That's on Spotify.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I listen like I remember one Saturday I was cleaning and I listened to the whole Soul Queen album. And I don't know if y'all familiar with the Soul Queen album, but it's like 50 songs on that motherfucker. And but Aretha wasn't even in my top 5. But so I'm like, it has to count on there. But I don't know. My goal is 50K next year.
I also played 2,909 songs this year, and I listened to 1,190 artists. I think that also accounts for y'all as well, because I take a lot of the music that we put into the episode from Spotify.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Beyonce was my top artist.
So I listened to 1,126 artists, and I'll do my top 5 artists. So number 5 was Doechii.
Yes, you really loved Alligator Fights.
I did.
Have you gone back to her older, or if you've listened to?
Not yet, but I saw her Tiny Desk Performs, and it was like one song from her older, I guess, discography, and like that really makes me want to go back. But she was talking about like being a dark skinned girl, and like, like, I want to be light, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be the bluest eye.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend "Oh, the Places You'll Go." It is a great mixtape or EP. I don't know what she exactly calls it.
Yeah,
highly recommend. Like I said, I've been a Doechii fan for a little while, and it's so good. Yes,
I'm gonna go back to that dance.
It's like even when she came out with Persuasive, and I started listening to her music, I was like, oh, she did Persuasive for the pop. Like she did it to get popular, and I get that. Yeah, her other stuff, she's rapping just like she is, but like even it's nothing of her what she put on "All the Places You Go" sound like what she has on.
That's good though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the only thing that is similar is like when she was talking to the therapist. She did that in "All the Places You'll Go." So that's the only thing that's similar. Yeah,
a true creative. I love it. So yes, I was so happy to see Doechii in my top 5, number 5. I'm glad she made it in.
Yes.
Before was Rema, which that's also no surprise. I've been talking about his album. Number 3 is Tyler the Creator.
Of course.
2 is K Tronada.
Of course.
And then number 1 is Queen Bee. Of course, it's Beyonce. Which I was actually kind of surprised she hit number 1 because, I wasn't really listening to Cowboy Carter like that. But now that I'm thinking about it, when it first came out, that second half, I was definitely...
He was running that back.
I mean, that also, not just Cowboy Carter, but I'm sure you go back to B-Day and all that other stuff like during, the year. So, yeah. That makes sense, too.
Yeah.
What were you guys' top songs? Did we say that yet? No, we didn't, right?
No, not yet.
My top songs.
Me, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. I did ask the question. I usually.
I know. That's why I was like, okay, I'll kick it off. So my number 1 song was "Not Like Us," which I was actually surprised by. I knew it was going to be in the top songs. I wasn't expecting it to be the number 1 song. They said I played it 78 times.
Wow.
That's what they said.
That's
number
more than
2
once
was
a week.
Euphoria.
Right.
Oh yeah, I definitely was playing more than once a week.
I mean, it didn't come out like in January, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Number 2 was Euphoria, which I expected to be in there. 3 was Truth or Dare by Tyler.
Yeah.
4 was Like That.
Really?
Oh, you a hater.
Like That being in there, I feel like it's a wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize I ran it back like that, but I did. You know
you
what?
Just did it for the Kendrick verse.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is a good song though. I'll give them that. But you know what? I also realized it's on my gym playlist, and it goes really hard in the gym. Earlier in the year, not so much the latter part, but early in the year, I was like, we was going to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week.
That's okay. We're changing that. We changed
imagine. It's fine. I ain't tripping. I'll get back. I know I'll get back. But literally, I would play it on repeat sometimes in the gym. And you go into the gym that much, you listen to that much. It does make sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
And then number 5 was Saturn. Which I also knew that was going to be in my top songs because I play that version, the recorded version, and I play the live version like back to back all the time because I love both versions of the song. But they said that. Oh, go ahead.
Is it live on Spotify?
Yeah, it is. There's the studio version, the live version, the acoustic version, the middle version. They got all types of versions on Spotify. Yeah. But they said I played 2,734 songs this year, and I listened to over 1,500 different artists. I said 15 artists. Over 1,500 different artists.
I know that's right. Come on, 1,500. That was more than mine. That was more than mine.
Same.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm proud of you.
So your song, not her doing the Drake noise.
Oh no. Oh no.
And they were all songs from this year. Yeah, nobody from the 90s.
I was just thinking about that. 70s. But I was going to ask, did you ever talk about any of the songs on the podcast besides Saturn? You brought up Saturn for the pre-rap, right? But did you have any of the other four? Did you make...
The only song I didn't talk about was Like That. I talked about Euphoria. I talked about
I mean, like you know, like making it one of your top songs for a hook that we've done.
Oh,
because I know Saturn was a top song for one of your hooks before, and I know we've discussed not Like Us, obviously, in Euphoria in depth.
Yeah,
just like that.
Okay.
I don't think I talked about Like That in the hook. I don't think I talked about Like That as a chokehold or anything.
Okay,
but clearly I've been listening to that motherfucker.
What about you, Dami? What were your top songs?
All right, I'll start from number 5. This is where I was surprised. I have Enough by Cardi B as number 5.
I'm shocked too.
It was my top song, but number 5.
You liked it when we were going over.
Did. Yeah, I think it was one of my chokeholds.
Something, yeah.
It was something, but yeah,
it was.
And I did love the song, and I was kind of like, I guess disappointed because it wasn't really pushed as much.
Yes. Or I know. Wait, isn't it Grammy nominated? It is Grammy nominated.
It is. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was mad about that because I wanted to take that spot.
Yes, exactly.
Look at me being fake. Look at me being fake.
Meanwhile, you love it.
Look at me. A whole lie. Yeah, I really do enjoy the song, and I feel like because I guess it didn't do as well on Billboards, that's kind of been like her hesitation with releasing the second album. But yeah, I enjoy the song. Number 4 is Yayo by Rema. That comes to no surprise. That's one of the songs I play at the gym all the time.
Gotcha.
It gets me hype. Again, Afro beats, love it. Number 3, Bucket.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Ooh,
not surprised. I'm more surprised that it wasn't your top song when we talked about Cowboy Carter than.
Yeah. I think I didn't want to say it because it was obvious. I was like, no. Y'all already know. But you know, club. It's
Jersey.
It's Jersey. Definitely Jersey.
Shit.
You know,
little country.
It transitioned to Renaissance. It was perfect for me. So Sweet Honey Buckin' by Beyonce and Shaboozey. Number 2, Get It Sexy. Get It Sexy.
You're lying.
Not the lip gloss lady.
You're lying. Dami be over there living a life.
No. Remember, she loves sexy, y'all. I don't see that as wrong. I know you hated her like lip gloss stuff and you didn't like that, but you have been going hard for sexy for some time.
In the beginning.
Yes,
now
she's
doing a lot of stuff, but like definitely Get It
problematic
Sexy.
Cave.
For sure. Yes. But you know, I always have a space for me to be a little ratchet.
Yeah.
And shaking my ass and twerking and all that. And also, again, I love listening to that song in the gym. Like, when I'm going for my little incline walk, like, hearing that, it gets me hyped. So, and, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not, for sure. I love that song.
Ain't nothing to be embarrassed about. I just think it's funny because I'm like, if that's your number 2 song, I can only imagine you just like listening to it. Where you at when you listening to it?
All the time. Get It Sexy. It was given like that
hilarious.
ATL, like the 2000s, the song. Yes. So, yeah, it is what it is. And then number 1, which I predicted, was Euphoria.
Oh yeah, you called that.
Yep, Euphoria. Kendrick Lamar.
A 6-minute song.
Yeah, so imagine I was on the Stairmaster, like listen to the full 6 minutes, and I will repeat it so I can hit my
yes,
my goal.
You have been saying that.
So 67 total streams, and I was a top 0.5% of listeners worldwide.
Period.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Period.
Yeah.
My number 1 was When You Touch Me by Brandy. Of course, that was actually in my pre-rap predictions, and that was streamed 52 times since January 12th. So basically, once a week, I listen to that song.
My God.
Number 2, is number 2 is Flamenco by Beyonce, which was also in my pre-rap prediction.
Talking about that,
Not Long Enough, obviously. Number 3 was This Is Always by Betty Carter, and jazz. You know, I love my jazz. Number 4, All I Got, Free Fallin' by Chloe. And number 5, can't get enough of Two Hands to Heaven. Two Hands to Heaven. Yeah, especially that
nice
second side.
Yeah.
It's the real you. It's the real me. They can't do nothing but envy. Bliss, please. Yeah.
Baby.
Never forget the dance. Yes. Okay, let's get into the music, ladies. How you guys want to do it? What order you want?
I can kick it off.
All right, and
I just wanted to give a shout out again. K Tronada actually was number 6 on my list. He just missed it for video. And I remember I mentioned, I was like, I've been listening to it a lot, but I don't think it'll be my top 5, but I wasn't expecting to be number 6. So that album came out later in the year, and the fact that it's that high on my top songs list, K Tronada, you really got you one with that. I love that song. So I know I already talked about Euphoria and Truth or Dare and Saturn on previous episodes. So I decided to kind of look through my top 100 list and pull out some other songs that appeared on there that I wanted to highlight. So we're going to kick it off like this. I just want to kick this shit off by saying, fuck y'all. I ain't got to clear my name on a motherfucking thing. Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all bitch ass niggas get 40 hours attention. I'm finna get this shit off my chest and lay it to rest. Let's go. And if the beat not...
Hey.
Listen. I'll never forget when this dropped. Yes.
Don't forget.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget when Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion dropped. It was 2 days after Cameron's birthday. We was in the Poconos and I was getting ready and I just like scrolled Twitter real quick and I just saw everybody going crazy on Twitter. All hail Queen Meg.
All hell,
like, because you really kicked off the year strong with this one, girl.
She
literally
did.
The first month of the freaking year. It felt like you were literally the catalyst and you kind of set the tone for the year. You really did. I hate that Hiss wasn't recognized by the Grammys, but you know what? We're gonna give you your flowers here because it was a great song, great production, great message, great lyrics. Like everything about it was really good. Video was great as well, and you did what you needed to be done. What needed to be done. You've literally had your foot on their neck since the beginning of the freaking year. And not just the people you talked about, but a lot of other folks as well. You put that pressure out there. I loved it. Drake pulled that bullshit at his concert talking about you with Tory and all that shit. And you called him out. I love that you called his bitch ass out. And what did she say? Posting up in another nigga hood or whatever like that. And Kendrick said something similar too. So like, again, a lot of people have been feeling this way about him for a very long time. And Megan was the one, right? She was the one who stood up and said, I'm going to call his ass out. I don't give a damn about his fans or how y'all feel about him. He needs to be called out for that shit that he pulled. And I love it. Leave it to a woman to get the fucking job done, okay? A black woman at that. Let's be very clear. You also called out Mr. Megan's Law, okay? And as we know, that sent somebody into a spiral for weeks.
We had a whole episode about it. Yep.
Just that one line. And that one line, that is actually true. It wasn't even a lie. You sent someone in a downward
I don't think she lied at all at any point in the song.
A lot of spiraling going on that whole time.
No, the unicorn was going crazy. Okay? And so was her little fans. But I loved it because these people need to know, stop fucking playing with Megan. Stop playing with her. Y'all talk bad about her. Y'all say she too sexual. Then you say like she this and she that and that. Leave that girl alone. Leave her alone. And I'm so happy that you called everybody out the way that you did. So Hiss was on my top 100 list. You put something special in that. It debuted at number 1. And so we just so proud of you. So I wanted to make sure that I highlighted it because let's not forget who started the shit. Okay. So Hiss was a song that I wanted to highlight first. Second, I just want to give a shout out to Dami. Because this second song that was at my top 100 is a song from almost 20 years ago called Green Light by Beyonce. And I'm going to give out a shout out to Dami because honestly, this year, I've heard you talk about B-Day before, but like, it never really like truly clicked for me. But this year, you reminded me how much I actually love the album and how good B-Day actually is. And it is indeed, without question, a no skips album.
Definitely.
It is very good.
Absolutely.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Like, it was no sophomore slump in Beyonce, okay? And so I just forgot about how much I loved it, and it really came out at a pivotal point in my life because it came out between 2006 and I know she released like a deluxe version in 2007. So that was my freshman and sophomore year of high school. And that's just like, that's 106, that's TRL. Like, that's like the prime time for us to be engaged with music through TV, through radio, through videos. And I remember seeing, Ring the Alarm, like debuted on BET, like I remember this time in my life so clearly. So I actually revisited this album a lot this year, B-Day, a lot this year, and I had 2 songs in my top 100. I'm just talking about Green Light, but Kitty Cat was also in my top 100 as well, and that is my favorite song from this album actually. But what a song. But both of those songs were produced by the Neptunes. Green Light also had additional production from Sean Garrett and Beyonce as well. But I know why this was in my top songs because I would play this song to work every day. It just kind of like got me
holding up traffic. Green means go.
Green means go. Yes,
pressing the horn like go.
No, for real. I would literally be dancing and doing all of this on the steering wheel and stuff like that when this song came on. Like it just, I'm in traffic. It's kind of like a hype song as well. It's kind of like getting me in it. It has a go-go feel to it, right? Which this whole album really does. Very DC go-go inspired. Production is great. It's just a good song. Like I think that what I realized this year, and I remember me, Mikala, and Maya were at Red Robin, and we were ranking our top Beyonce albums. It's so random. And I think if I didn't do this then, I definitely want to be very clear now. Renaissance is number 1 and B-Day is number 2 for me. It is both of those are no skip albums for me. B-Day is really that girl. Green Light is that girl. Kitty Cat is that girl. It is. So thank you, Dami.
Yes.
You're welcome.
It's a great piece of work. So
it is.
It's a great body. Whew. And loud. Loud
album. That's why she really like it.
Right.
You about to feel the fight like the one I'm gonna cause. She gonna wait around, I'll let you go, and I'm on the road. Yes. And and this was her first album that she did all videos too. Also did not realize that as well.
She took advantage of everything that she's been taking advantage of everything that we are hype about. Yeah. And she definitely, especially during that time, music videos was a major thing. So yeah.
They were. Think about it. Even the deluxe version, Beautiful Liar, Check Up on It. Like those are all songs. Oh, fuck. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. All right, my last song. We've spoken about it on the podcast. I don't think I've spoken about it in detail, but it is Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. Yes. This was in my top 100 songs for the year. And I know yes. Thank you. That's literally the production. Chef's kiss. I know a lot of people are like, Meet the Grams. It was a great song, but it's a little too dark for me. Well, I love the darkness. I welcome the darkness. Come on, boogeyman. Bring the darkness.
Concerning.
I loved it.
Very concerning.
No, it's not. So y'all concerned about me, but not the person who created.
Let somebody clip that out. I love the darkness.
I do. Well, let me be clear. I love the darkness of this song. I don't love darkness in general. But I am not surprised that in my top 5, I would listen to this shit while I was in the shower. I would listen to this shit while I was in the kitchen, while I was driving. I would listen to this shit while I was working. I listened to this shit while I was reading. I love Meet the Grams. It's the eerie production by The Alchemist that, like you said, time. Like, I love that. It sounds like a spooky movie. It reminded me of, like, I feel like I was listening to like a Jordan Peele movie when I was listening to this song. This is how you beef. This is how you rap battle.
Yep.
This is how you do it. He peeled back the layers of a Canadian onion and really just focused on getting to his
I'm dead.
He focused on getting to the heart, mind, getting into his soul. He was talking to his soul in this song. You hear me? He called him out. He exposed the flaws, and and he really spoke directly to the people in his life: his son, his mom, his dad, and Aubrey himself.
Yep.
He went there. He used his words, he used the production, all that to build up to this. He went there. This is how you do it. This is rap. This is hip hop. Of course, we love Euphoria. We love Not Like Us. We love all of those songs, right? But when you're just talking about like get in the booth, bitch, and rap, this is it.
That was it.
This is it.
It was underrated. It definitely was underrated. Out of the
completely. This is an audio family therapy session. You can visualize everything he's talking about. He said, "Hold on, Sandra, sit down. I'm not done yet." Like you can see her getting up and being like, "I can't listen to this anymore," and him telling her, "Sit down."
When he said, "You raised a fucking loser," I said, "Oh
yes, the nerve of you, Dennis." He said, "Your son is a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die." Woo!
That's a hard one, right?
I said, when I heard that song, as much as I love the Doctors, I said, "Damn, that shit hurt my feelings." That shit hurt. If it hurt my feelings, I can only imagine what it was doing to Aubrey.
Talk about hitting below the belt. I was way below. He went to hell. He went to hell.
Way below the belt.
And he already told you that he's like, "I'll take you to hell with me before we trucing it up." Fuck that. He said it on GNX too.
Again, he warned. He warned her.
Multiple warnings. And the best part about this is that Meet the Grams is great, and I believe Not Like Us came out like 20 minutes later or some shit.
Yeah.
This song was brilliant. I love this song. If I hadn't already been a Kendrick fan before, like this song probably would have made me a fan because damn it, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
You know what's that video of Jill Scott? That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's how I felt listening to this song. So it was no surprise to me that it ended up in my top 100 for the year. So
do you know where it was or don't worry about it. You gotta tell me the exact number, but I was just wondering if it was like the top 10, but it's okay.
So it was in the top 30.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
it's in the top 30.
That's good.
Yeah, out of all the other songs and stuff. Yeah. Wow.
It's in the top 30. So those are all
good ones.
Those are great songs. Mikala.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. What? Huh? I was gonna say I'm not surprised with his and all that stuff. I was just talking about her songs.
Go ahead, Mikala.
I'll go.
I thought she was gonna start. That's what I was like, oh, go ahead.
I'll go. So for me, I chose my songs from the playlist, obviously, and a lot of the songs that I saw on the list we actually had already discussed in detail. So I was like, all right, I got to choose ones that I haven't talked about. So I chose songs that might have been on the same album that I've talked about before, or are wild cards. So I know you guys heard one of my top songs was "This Is Always" by Betty Carter. So this is my wild card song. And this is from her 1964 album called Inside Betty Carter. And which she considered one of her favorite albums.
1964. Let me go ahead and look it up.
Yes.
1960. Oh.
It was written by, and she had been doing music since the 50s and went all the way up basically until she died in, I think, like 98. She was still releasing music in the 90s, early 90s and stuff. I actually watched a performance of her on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and she was phenomenal. But this was written by Mark Gordon and Harry Warren and was first performed by an American traditional pop singer, Jo Stafford, who was a white woman, obviously, But, Betty Carter is a black woman and she killed it. on this one. So I'm pretty sure I got hooked on this song when I was listening to like one of those jazz playlists that I usually like listening to, like jazz greats or just a standards list. And her tone in this song is like magical. Like it is so soothing, and it kind of like puts you in a trance, which is like what I love about jazz so much.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was like very much hooked on this song. And she has such a like unique jazz vocal voice. Like I can't compare her to anybody. Like can't say it's like Sarah Vaughan, can't say it's like Ella. It's just out of this world different. So I think that's what also attracted me to her. And there's like different versions of the song, obviously, like I said, with Joe Stafford, and a lot of other people have covered it as well. But she takes the cake, like I said. And it's like very like slow tempo in the beginning, and then like she kind of like picks up at the end, and like you're on this little bit of a ride with her. And the production of it is just killer. I love it. It's not a lyric heavy song. It's very simple and to the point, like a lot of jazz songs are. But some of the lyrics are: this isn't sometimes, this is always. This isn't maybe, this is always. Yes, it's love, the real beginning of forever. And just the way that she like holds these notes and like strings you along is like, this is the jazz that I love. Like when I say I love jazz, this is the jazz that I love. That it's the type of jazz that makes you want to like have a cozy sweater on, and you're looking out the window with a cup of tea in your hand, and just like watching the rain fall or the leaves fall.
That first sip, you're like, ah.
Yes, and it just warms your body. Like that's what this jazz song makes me feel like. Or like you're just, I don't know, laying in the bed with your lover and you guys are just playing music, like nothing funny, nothing nasty or anything, that you're just playing music, and this song comes on and y'all are not saying anything, but you're just listening. And this is that type of song. Like play that with your lover, sit down, just have it playing in the car, don't say nothing, just listen. And I'm telling you, you want to either be in love, be happy that you're in love, or fall in love while listening to this. So
I love that kind of music.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah, I truly think you guys should listen to it. I mean, she also has a performance of it on YouTube from like Norway in 1978. So she's been playing this song for a very long time. And one of the commenters of the YouTube had said, "This is one of the best songs ever, ever, ever. The beauty of her voice makes my heart ooze." And that's exactly how you feel when you listen to this. Yeah. It's a great song.
Dr. T would be proud you got a jazz song on here.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's a great song. My next song is from Aphrodisiac. Obviously, like I've been talking about that album since I've been listening to it. Like the whole album, like I said, insane, amazing. This is Aphrodisiac, the actual title of this, the same as the album, from the album as well. So I love that. I haven't been able to stop listening to it. Like from the first I was hooked. I was like, when did I miss this from the first? Did I miss this? I don't know where I was when this was out. I probably was in church. But anyway,
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
2004, 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah, I was in church.
Yeah, probably.
That's what it was. I just knew her. I just knew like talk about our love and all that, the singles. This was written by Kenesha Pratt, Kenneth Pratt, Isaac Phillips, and Timbaland. And you could tell by the beatbox and beat alone that this was a Timbaland beat, Timbaland production. Brandy also gets the credit on producing the song as well. And this is the second from her Aphrodisiac album, the second track. I think it should have been the first track, honestly. Like I Know Who I Am, or I think that's the first song. It's a good song, but I feel like she should have ended with that song and put Aphrodisiac first, because I feel like that would have been a great album opener. Yeah. But this was her fourth studio album, and this is after Never Say Never and Full Moon, which didn't get as much like critical acclaim. However, this album did debut at number 3 on the Billboard 200, and at that time it was like one of her best received albums. I think AllMusic had given it a 4 out of 5. Entertainment Weekly had said that it was an A-. Rolling Stone was giving it a 4 out of 5. It met a lot of criteria, or it was on the list for a lot of top albums of 2004 as well. And she did say about this album that you really get to know me as a person, and I'm not sugarcoating any of the lyrics. My fans will be able to connect to it because they'll know exactly what I've been through. And I was like, that's a good point, because I feel like I really did get to know Brandy, like with some of her songs, like Should I Go and I Tried. She's like talking about how she might want to step away from the music industry with some of that stuff, and like just different things that she had been going through. I was like, I feel like I didn't get that from Never Say Never and Full Moon all the time. So,
and this was post all of the stuff that happened, right?
This was after the split with her baby daddy, Big Bert.
Yeah.
And you know, after she had lied to us and told us that was her ex, you know, her husband and all that stuff. Hey, look, she even said it. Look, she said it, and she was on Oprah telling the lie too. But
everybody be lying on Oprah.
I think looking back now, we all can understand why Brandy was doing all that, right? She had an image to uphold. She wanted to be a role model. You know, she didn't want to have a baby out of wedlock. You know, all the things that we've been told not to do. You know, she
that was more important 20 years ago for
sure.
Her
image was, you know, she had to maintain it, which makes sense. But she was actually making music with Big Bert, and they were making the Aphrodisiac album together, and then they split up, and so she just scrapped all the songs that they had made together and ended up producing with Timbaland. So that's why it's mostly like a heavily produced Timbaland album. Kanye West does make his, you know, production credits on there as well. We'll Talk About Our Love and Where I Want to Be with T.I. And there was a little bit of a, I guess, contention between Timbaland and like the music label, because she was saying that this was her favorite track, Aphrodisiac, but there was a little protest with, you know, Timbaland saying like that should have been the, you know, the single that it went out, but the label wanted to go with Kanye West, which makes sense as well, because Kanye West was very hot at the time. So they went, but Timbaland was like, it doesn't really make sense for Kanye West's production to be out there, because I'm the one who's mostly producing the album. So it's going to sound more like what I'm producing, the full album, and not what he's producing. So you're kind of giving like, you know, not false, whatchamacallit, but just making people think that it's going to be like a heavily Kanye produced album when it's not. So I
made the right call.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said they made the right call.
I think so too. I wouldn't be mad if Aphrodisiac was a single at the same time. Like, too, you can have multiple singles, but I get where he was coming from. But it makes sense. I see what the label is doing. It makes a lot of sense. And especially out of the other songs, I feel like Talk About Our Love is a great single to put out so that people would buy it, right?
I mean, yeah.
Exactly, right?
He was on fire.
He was on fire. Like,
on fire.
I would buy it too if I knew Kanye produced one song. Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you get on there and you listen, and you're like, oh, he produced 2. You're like, okay, yeah. But I feel like for me, choosing this song or in this album and stuff, every year I kind of like rediscover and engulf myself in a discography of an artist that I love, because obviously, like I said, grew up in church. I was listening to a lot of gospel music, so I know a lot of gospel albums in full, but I only know like the singles to some artists that I love, besides like Anita Baker, obviously. But so I'm like, I wanted to revisit and like, what did I miss when I was like in church all the time? And when I went back and was listening to this, I was like, yeah, this is a great album. Like, I can't get enough of it. And I'm pretty sure I've been listening to Brandy for a full year, because I think we even did the Christmas album last year. In December. So I've been listening to Brandy for a full year. So, I mean, this was the album has been in my chokeholds. Like, I don't think I need to stress enough how much I enjoy listening to Brandy. She's a great singer, but this song is like
amazing,
really great. I mean, it's upbeat, it's fun, it's sexy. Like I said, from the first I was hooked, and I love the lyrics. Like, I think they're fun. I think they're different. when she's like, whatever you want, I got it, Poppy. Don't hesitate. Holla at me. What I'm looking for is simple you see, love and support and sexuality. And when I'm with you, I don't want to leave. I need you just like the air that I breathe. But when I'm not with you, I'm missing my peace. I got a lot inside I need to release. You fulfill my every desire. When I'm with you, you take me higher. You're my aphrodisiac. You're the only one I'm needing. When I go, I'll come back, because there is no way I'm leaving. Just the way she does it in her,
the lyrics.
Her voice, crazy. It's crazy. And the
Listen to
video's
the lyrics,
cute too.
y'all.
Yes, lyrics. Just and I also wanted to add that I don't think Brandy goes on tour enough. I feel like a lot of artists go on tour a lot. She's maybe had like
not one of
two
them.
major
she's
tours,
not one of them.
which is crazy.
She performed live at like shows and stuff like that, but she doesn't really tour.
I wonder why.
I wonder why as well, because like that's where people make their money. I feel like a lot of artists. But yeah, I mean, she's an all-around entertainer too. So
I thought say, she Moesha and Cinderella.
That's true.
Star.
Getting them residuals. yeah, you're right. You're right.
Temptation.
Right.
Why you had to do that? you see what you did for a joke. You see what you do for a joke. My last song is I had to talk about. What'd you say? She ain't lie. My last song is from Quantum Baby. I thought to do something different. My last song is from Quantum Baby. So I had brought it up in one of my chokeholds before. And it has been choking me since I've been listening to it. Initially, like we said, wasn't our favorite, at the time. We had been listening to Trouble in Paradise and Alligator Bites Never Heal because it came out all around the same time.
Yeah.
But I was like, let me give it another chance. Let me give it another go. And I found a few songs on there that I will go back to and listen to. Okay. And one of the songs is When I Get You Alone. And this was written by Tinashe, Charlie Spence, and a few other people, a lot of names. This is from her 7th studio album, Quantum Baby. Yes. 7th. Yeah, number 7.
I mean, she has been out for a while.
She's been out for a while. How old do y'all think that Tinashe is?
I feel like she's around our age.
She's 30.
She's 31. I did not know that. She's 31.
So when did she? How old was she when she did 2 on?
I can't remember college.
Our age then.
Yeah, so I remember seeing that in college.
21, 20. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was wow. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
I'm blown away.
Me too.
Dang.
This was her album, like you said, not the absolute best, but it did end up on the Billboard 200. It was 199. And it peaked at number 23 on the top R&B albums, which is pretty high, I feel like.
It peaked at 199 on the 200.
I think it peaked at 199. I'm not sure if it debuted or peaked. Might have peaked there. Okay. I'm not sure, but it ended up on there. That's all I know.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's progress. Yeah. All Music did rate this a 4 out of 5. Pitchfork gave it a 7.9 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people like this album.
That's
yes. But like I said, I've been wanting to give this another chance, and I started listening to it again, and I was like, okay, yeah, there's a couple of songs I like. I'd like Cross That Line, and I like When I Get You Alone, and maybe like one more song on there. And it's not a long album. It's like maybe 9 songs or something like that on there. And I just remember like me and Maya were, I'll be blasting music that I'm listening to at the time in the car, and we were going somewhere. And when we got home, she was like, what was that Tinashe song you was playing? And it was this one, When I Get You Alone.
Okay.
Yes. And this is a standout for me for, I think, one reason only. Y'all know I love a 2-parter song. And this is a 2-part song. And it's very like up-tempo. Yeah, very up-tempo, like bass knocking beat. And she's basically singing in falsetto and just talking about like, trying to get a man, like, her quest to get the man that she wants, And then it switches to like a lower register, which I think is like more natural for her. And basically talking about how the man basically slip away. She can't let the man slip away, even though or the man let her slip away, even though she knows that he misses her. And he can't pretend. So the Pitchfork reviewer had said something like, it kind of is reminiscent of Janet Jackson's I Get Lonely, because it's like it's not the same sound, but reminiscent, like the whole thing about it because both songs are committed to like the beat drop and the patience that love requires is what they said. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. I can see that definitely. So I know, but just listen to When I Get You Alone Again, or even Cross That Line. I think those are good songs off the album.
What?
Oh, I'm talking to everybody because I know you didn't like it either.
Like, you were that number 2, Dami, not just me.
But I listened.
Oh, I think I listened. I thought you did.
You listened? I did.
Oh,
I did.
Yeah, she said it. She said it in the group message. I remember. See, I got you.
thank
When you do listen, I give it to you.
That's a part of her 1,500 artists.
Okay.
The album was so short, it was hard to not listen. Like,
yes, I think that's why you listen. You were like,
it's
only 30 minutes, so let me just give it to you.
It was short.
Go walk on the treadmill real quick.
I think if it was longer, she would have been like, what song y'all like?
Tell me where I should listen first. Tell me what I should go to.
Give me a starting track. Give me a starting track.
Right. Maximum 5 songs.
Right.
I ain't doing no more.
Right. What about you, Dami? What were your songs? I can't.
Oh my God. So funny enough, one of my songs was also his.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, like you said, his started off. People are not giving Megan the credit for starting off this whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? She's been quiet for a while. She released Traumazine, which, it was good. But, again, a lot of people weren't really talking about it. And she was getting bullied a lot online. Of course, going through the whole trial. It was a lot going on with her emotionally. And, she had to cover that up because it's like, she has to be hard, right? When everyone is attacking her. And you know what? That trial was done, and it was time to make some new music.
She got to it.
Opening line was the perfect line to start it off.
She probably was making that song as she was during the trial. Actually, like
I can see that.
You can see it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. She said, "Fuck all y'all," and you know what? She was noticing what people were saying. She was noticing like old artists that she was collaborating with, like The Baby and some of these other artists that were, defending Tory and just saying a lot of slick shit in their lyrics with some of their new releases. And it's like, oh no, like she peeped everything. And people need to give her flowers. Like, yes, Kendrick really set that thing off, but don't get it twisted. Some of them lyrics was not just about Nicki. Allegedly. It was also about Drake, okay, with the BBL, the ab etching, trying to get in my section, going around to other areas and try to adopt their culture or gentrify the culture. So it's like, Megan did that. And conceptually, the whole, not only just the album, but the music video of his was just pure perfection. Pure perfection. So I'm not going to say too much because I know.
Didn't she also, like, didn't she release something and people were saying they didn't like the way the album was looking or something, and she even redid it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a part of that as well?
The Megan album cover. Yeah. It was looking like too much, and she listened. She came out with a second cover.
And it looked so much better, yeah.
Yeah, the whole rollout was great. I think even with Cobra, because I think Cobra came out first.
It did.
And it made some noise, but his really set it off.
Set it off, yeah.
It set it off. And Cobra was a good song, too.
It was.
It really was.
Cobra was a great song. So I was like, oh, this is the theme? Bet. Loved it. So, not going to go too much. I'm going to say a lot, but give Megan her flowers.
I'm saying a lot.
Give Megan her flowers for his. She deserves it all. And again, this is why I'm upset that she did not get nominated at all. At least for
Do you think she submitted it? Because don't they have to submit songs or what they want? Maybe she didn't submit it.
But why wouldn't she?
Why wouldn't she? Yeah.
I mean, did she submit anything else? There was nothing else that was submitted by her. Is what I'm.
I don't think so. Was she nominated for anything?
I don't think she's nominated for anything. Maybe she. I mean,
Mamushi wasn't nominated. Because Mamushi was good.
Yeah, Mamushi probably should have.
Was everywhere, right? Yeah.
I wonder what were her like considerations, like what she submitted for. But I don't know.
Wait, now that got me curious because if Mamushi isn't up for a nomination, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe she didn't submit anything because I think you do have to submit stuff, right?
You have to submit it,
yeah. So I feel like maybe I understand, being upset about that too, but I think like maybe it's something on her as well. Maybe she didn't want to, or like for whatever reason she might have for herself that she might have been like, that was my talk to shit. I don't want a Grammy nomination for that's my talk to shit. But I don't know.
I think it was. I'm curious. I don't see how. I hear what you're saying, but I don't see it.
To me, I'm saying is like I'm thinking maybe she's like it's not
unless she was like, I don't want to win
niche.
a Grammy. Yeah. Maybe she was like, I don't want to win a Grammy just because like it brought so much noise because of Nicki crashing out. You know what? You know what I mean? Like some people are just like, look, I don't want to be recognized for this song because it made my like op go crazy, and now people connect that song to that.
That and like Megan is all about like her mental space, and maybe she's like, I just needed to get that off. It wasn't supposed to be like a Grammy nominated. Like I'm not trying to get this on a top 10 album or top 10 on Billboard or anything like that. I'm not trying to get recognition. I was just trying to get off what I was upset about, and I put it out there
so she can move on.
So she can move on.
And when you think about it, like
coming back,
because when you think about it, even after Bigfoot, like. She didn't respond or anything. She was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not submitting else.
She better submit bigger in Texas. I know that. I know
that. Right. That's the only thing that I can think of just thinking about her. Just think about how she is you think about Traumazine, like how she is about her own mental space. And like, she's like, I got it off. Like, I'm done with it. Like, I said what I need to say. I said my piece. Fuck all y'all. And I don't need a nomination or a Grammy for this. I know what I did and I know what I was saying, and fuck it.
Well, in that case, then I respect it.
I respect it. Yeah, I am gonna look that up though to see if she.
I don't know though
if there's any consideration she put in.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. But yeah, also loved his "Give Her Flowers." Second song, I want to talk about "Mutt" by Leon Thomas, and I know in our 100th episode I brought up.
Wait, why did I think when you first talked about it was Leon Bridges? I was like, wait, she listened to Leon Bridges.
Not Leon Bridges.
Nothing wrong with Leon Bridges, but I forgot about Leon Thomas, and he's been making some good music lately. And writing. Music. Did he write Snooze or something like that?
Mm-hmm. He wrote Snooze. Co-wrote.
Oh wow, God, Jesus!
You know the percentages?
Still writing,
right? Do you know the percentages?
right.
You said you got your degree?
Yes, you know everything. Shit, you on Solana's payroll?
Right. We know she know how to write. We know she'll write her album
when she want to.
I'm just saying, just make sure we just give it proper credit. That's all.
She wrote da 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 da.
Oh, you tried it.
She wrote something that was probably in italics. Something in italics.
You so silly.
Don't do high.
You know I love scissors.
Yeah.
Big Jersey.
Big Jersey.
But still. But yes, Leon Thomas.
Dami's stupid.
Leon Thomas has really been like a standout star. Obviously, outside of Doechii, Leon Thomas has been someone I've been listening to like all year.
Yeah.
Again, he co-written Snooze. But he was also like an actor on Victorious.
He was.
He was also Insecure, like a small role.
Oh yeah.
And come to find out, like he's pretty much a child star. So he was also young Simba in Lion King. I said, wait,
he's been around for a long time.
He's been out for a while. Yes. Young Simba.
I can't remember what he was in a movie before he got into Victorious, and I think he was singing in that, or he was very smart. I think maybe something like that. Let me look at it while you talk about it. But yeah.
So like he's very talented, and you know I'm so glad that he's doing his own thing. Like I think he's been doing a lot of co-writing and a lot of producing, but now he put out his own project, which was Mutt, and this was his single and title track of the album Mutt. And this song, it gives me like funky. It gives me a little neo soul in it. Again, written by Leon. And I love the theme of it because he's connecting him being a dog to like the actual dog, like he's a mutt. And in the song, he just talked about how he was just really like apprehensive into falling in love and, you know, dealing with his past, which basically the whole album, that's what it's about, is about a breakup. And he kept saying, like, she said, take your time. What's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. And in the bridge, he said, but I let my guard down for you. Said, I'll put my guard down for you. Said, I'll be vulnerable so you could break my heart if you want to. That's That's kind of toxic, right? It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna let my guard down. Right.
Finally, a man who's honest about himself.
I mean,
you know, and I miss that. I do miss that. I miss men being very vulnerable in their tracks. Like, yeah, like, you know, I'm vulnerable because I feel like you're gonna hurt me. But also, like, in this album in general, he's also talking about him doing his own shit too. In the interview, he said, as he started working on the album in his home, he noticed similarities between his dog's behavior and his own.
Damn.
Yes.
My God, he really calling himself a dog. My God.
He said it made me think about the give and take in relationships and the struggle for obedience. He said, even though my dog may sometimes make a mess in the house or bark loudly at neighbors, I know he means well. This became a metaphor for not being a perfect partner, but having good intentions. I said, That sound like gaslighting to me, but hey.
You sound like one of the people be like, he ain't gonna bite.
Yep. He mean well. He's just a little excited. But yeah, I've been playing this song nonstop. I remember just hearing it randomly. Like, people will post on their Instagram stories. I'm like, this is so funky. Like, the bass is so bass heavy. And I mean, he could sing too. That's what kind of got me into like listen to the actual album, which I'm mad I listened to it late because he actually went on tour and I missed it.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Videos from his tour.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to 2025 for him. I think it's going to be a big year for him, obviously, as well as Doechii. But those are like the main two artists I'm really looking forward to seeing what's to come in 2025.
He went on tour by himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Wow.
Let's see if he doesn't come up like Neo from being a songwriter to having a successful solo career. Let's see if he has a come up like that.
I hope so. And I mean, he's been marketing himself too. Like, yeah. He's been doing small shows here and there. He did his own tour. They've been booking him, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
He must be independent.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. He's actually the first signee to Ty Dolla $ign's label called Easy Money Records. And I think it's a collab. Yeah, it's like a collab with like Motown.
Oh, good for them.
Easy Money Records, like Cash Money.
Right.
It sounds like some scammy shit, but whatever.
It does, but hey.
Yeah, it does. Or it sounds like something in Empire you would hear.
Right.
Yeah. We're going against Easy Money Records, man.
It do. Especially with the main at the end. That sounds like some Midwest type of record label.
Yes.
Money.
Yes.
And then my final song, you know, I couldn't go without talking about Tyler the Creator.
Of course.
This was actually in my top 30, which I'm surprised because the album came out like late October. So I guess Spotify wasn't lying when they said like they needed more time to collect more data, which is, I guess, is cool. This song is from his most recent album, Cornucopia. This is Hey Jane, and I talked about it a little bit on the drop, but like this is probably one of my favorite songs off the album because it's so vulnerable. I feel like it's also so relatable as you're get a little older. So this song talks about an unplanned pregnancy, and what I really love about this song is like it tells a story from both Tyler's perspective and Jane's perspective. So Jane who's pregnant and then Tyler who finds out, and they're like writing like letters to each other. And it's a lot of mixed emotions. You know, you talk about like just being a shock, the initial shock, like, oh my God, like you're pregnant, or oh my God, I'm pregnant. Then the reality of pregnancy, like she's talking about how she's hungry, she's bloated, she's talking about her cravings, the uncertainty. So it's like, are we gonna go through with this? Are we gonna get an abortion? And then just even Tyler just talking about how, like her own reproductive freedom. Like, look, at the end of the day, it's your choice. I'm gonna support you either way. There's no pressure.
Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a great song, and I love it because like the intro. So like throughout the album, you'll hear his mom in the album. It's kind of giving like Sis's grandma when she's saying some lyrics. So at the beginning of the album, his mom says, "Always, always wear a condom." And then he goes starting about like, oh my God, like I heard about the news. He said, if it's bound to happen to me, I'm lucky as you. You have great qualities. You could pass on. You're not dumb. Your face good. Your hair strong. Then he started talking about how he's disappointed in himself. He said, I'm so disappointed in me. This is not like me. How could I be so reckless? This is not my lifestyle. Never had a scare in my life till now. I'm not in the space to raise no damn child. Then he said, hey, Jane, I'm petrified, terrified. I don't want to give my freedom up or sanitize it. So he's just talking about his own like emotions and his own thought process. And then Jane started talking about her perspective. And she said, how do you feel if we keep it a secret? It's a voice inside of me begging to keep it. I'm 35 and my ovaries might not reset. I don't want to live my life feeling regret. Hey, T, things happen. No one is wrong, even if it was an accident. But I don't need the stress. I could do this all alone. My mom did it. Your mom did it. This ain't a pride thing. The more I prefer to have a peace of mind thing. This song.
Yeah.
And I talked about this before. Some songs, like, it's just so like ambiguous, right? It's so many metaphors in it, and you're trying to figure out what they're talking about. This is straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
Clearly, we know Jane is pregnant. Tyler, he's apprehensive, but he's happy that he got her pregnant because I guess she has it together. She can raise it by herself. And Jane is like, look, like, I'm older. I don't have a child. I could take care of my own. I think she's from London because she said she'll move back to London and take care of the baby by herself. The production is beautiful. Again, another bass-heavy song. I thought Thundercat was playing the bass, but I don't see him in the credits. But he is credited on this album, just not for this song. But yeah, I've been enjoying this album because it's very vulnerable. Some of the songs are, some of the most vulnerable I've heard from Tyler. But this song, it's like, I think it's very relatable in my 30-somethings, and just trying to figure out, like, if that were to happen, like, I can understand her perspective. And obviously as a guy, I can understand Tyler's perspective. So
yeah,
it speaks to the millennial soul though, because I just often see some of like commentary, especially on Twitter, about people who are our age or like a couple years older and like getting pregnant and still being shocked that other people are getting pregnant, even though they've grown as people working or in relationships. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like millennials, a lot of us still react like that to pregnancy. Just kind of like the shock, like, oh shit, what we going through? Like, we 16 years old, like in our minds, it's like, no, you've grown, and you kind of think you have to kind of like switch your perspective about it because you're at a different place in life. And so I think I haven't listened to that song, but just based on what you say, Dami, like it's really speaking to the millennial core base about pregnancy and stuff at that age. So I think that's a really, really dope concept. I'm happy to hear that he explored that in the song.
I was listening to that the other day because I was like, oh, let me finish Chromacopia. And when I got to that song, I was like, wait a minute. Like, especially when I heard like the single mom part, like, I'll do it. My mom did it, your mom did it. And I was like, wait, he going back and forth. Like I was like, okay, Tyler, I see why. And it's amazing to me too, because like young kids love Tyler. Like,
they do.
And to hear him talk about that, I feel like they may not exactly know, but like we'll give them a somewhat of a heads up of like what can happen or what you might think about, because you may not like always understand these songs, but I thought it was just very interesting, like what he did. And it makes me think about like my little cousin who listens to Tyler, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wonder if she's like, if she gets it. Like, I wonder if she's like kind of understanding the back and forth, and maybe I'll have to ask her or stuff like that. But
it's not like he has like a woman voice. Like it's his voice. It's his raspy voice. Right?
Exactly. So, but it makes me think about that, and like I'm like, yeah, he's a very good artist, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why Dami likes him. I get this whole. I get why people like him. Like a lot of people like him. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of good work. My brother at Thanksgiving, my brother was just like, "Hey, you heard that Tyler Creator album?" And I was like, "I heard some songs, but I haven't listened to the whole thing." And he said, "Psh, that shit cold, bro. That shit cold."
It is.
And I was actually surprised to hear that come from him, because I mean, my brother definitely listened to a lot of different artists, a lot of different music. But I never really heard him talk about Tyler the Creator ever. So he's like, that shit's so cold. That shit's so cold. I'm like, okay. I gotta let Dami know.
I appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah. Finally, something he likes too.
Right.
Oh gosh. Well, as always, guys, we hope that you guys enjoyed the hook. This was fun going back to see what we liked and what was right, what was wrong. and some surprises, but not really that many surprises for us, I feel like. Let us know what you guys have been listening to. Please let us know what's on your Spotify. I mean, we've been seeing a few of y'all's anyway. You post them right away. We'll probably post ours now once the episode comes out.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and get out of here with the outro. Who's going first? SOS?
I'm gonna go first. It's gonna be a little conversation. I'm not gonna announce. This is for the drop, y'all. Normally, I will talk about any new songs, new albums that came out, artists that are going on tour, or any festivals that's coming. And it's cold, so I don't know about any festivals unless you're going overseas. But I wanted to talk about this because Kendrick and SZA announced their tour. Tyler announced his tour, and I've been seeing a lot of discourse about pricing. Right. Not just about pricing, but how they release it and when the tickets are released. And I have a question for y'all. Do you feel like going to shows are becoming more of like a luxury? Like, it's not like, let's go to this. It's like, now you have to think about it. Wait a minute. Let me figure out my finances and see if it's best fit for me. And I say that because when I looked at when Kendrick announced the tour, I believe it was like on Tuesday, like on December 3rd. And the pre-sale tickets were going out the next day. They were selling the next day. And I'm just like, during the holiday season, people are already
not really thinking about it. Yeah, thinking about all the
people are already sacrificing, paying for rent, paying for their mortgages, just to make sure their family is happy or their kids are happy with gifts and stuff. And obviously, like Kendrick is not the only one. Like even with Tyler, I voiced my concerns about how high the damn tickets were. We talked about how much we paid for Beyonce when she had the Renaissance tour, and one aspect, I get it, especially when it comes to stadium tours, because it's so huge. You have to have a huge production, and you have to have multiple stages, because if you're on like a 50-date tour, you got to make sure that the next two cities are set up already. But I do feel like, depending on who your audience is, and I think the time of the year too, like, I don't want to say it's insensitive, but it just makes me question, like, why do you guys announce it and then the next day you're releasing tickets, or like the same week you're releasing tickets? Like, give us some time to figure out finances, one. Two, like, make sure it works, right? Because I love Kendrick. Obviously, I love Tyler, but with this economy now and just thinking about what are my priorities for the next year, it's like, damn, I can't lower the tickets a little bit, just a little bit.
For me, if it is a huge artist at the time, or not a huge artist, because it could be anybody, but if it's a huge venue, I always consider tickets to be a luxury, like no matter what. And it's just a matter of like where I want to be to see them, and what my budget is at the time. I've always considered concerts a luxury for me and my budget, but if they're at a smaller venue, I feel like I'm okay with whatever pricing they come up with, because I feel like it would meet the venue standards or whatever, like a city winery or something like that. I guess those are more affordable. So to me, I'm not really surprised at ticket prices, especially, things have been going up. Everything goes up, ticket fees, all that stuff. It's just a matter of like, do I really want to spend that money or not? Can I wait to see them or not, or whatever. So as far as I know, as far as I've been going to see artists in concert, buying their tickets, like I remember buying Made in America tickets and being like, whoo, like that to me, because I was a college student, like that was a luxury for me, like going, even though me and my brother shared the pass, like it wasn't like something that I was like, oh, I'm going to do, or I fit in my budget all the time. So I think I put more stock into other things, other entertainment or something like that. So I get it. Like, as music lovers, obviously we want to go to like every single concert and stuff like that. But yeah, to me, it's just, it is what it is. It's the sign of the times to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I mean, going to see any artist in live is definitely a luxury, because you can watch videos on YouTube, you can watch them on TV, you can watch it on social media. You don't have to go live, but if you choose to go live, know that that's going to come with the cost, because you're not just paying the artist, you're paying the venue, you're paying the production, you're paying all of the crew, right? The people who provide food in the back, people who clean up when you leave. Like, it's not just the artist that is getting paid from that. I don't know. I can't really speak to like, is Kendrick the one setting the prices? I doubt it, right? I doubt that he's the one that's saying charge this. I know a lot of that is kind of led by the facility, and then also Ticketmaster with their bullshit. And resellers. Let's also not forget that people are reselling these tickets for double and triple the cost, which the artist as an individual doesn't really have much control over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going to any concert is a luxury. And yes, if you go to a stadium, I expect to pay more at a stadium than I expect to pay at like a small club, or like Mikala said, City Winery. So it's just one of those things that, yeah, I mean, I see people are upset about like ticket costs, and I do agree that I wish they could be a little bit more affordable, but it's not like seeing a concert is not like an essential.
Yeah,
if that makes sense, right? It's like you don't need to. You don't. It's not a requirement. But it's tough because I do wish that more people can have access to seeing live events. For some of their favorite artists. Some people like are diehard fans and they just cannot afford to go, and that sucks. That really does suck. And I wish there was a way to make it more affordable for people who just really cannot afford. Like, listen, it's either I buy groceries or I go buy these tickets.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people in that situation. And that's why I'm like, if you can't go to a concert, it's like
it's no pressure.
It's no pressure. Yeah, like it's like, oh, I thought that was your favorite. You ain't gonna see it. Like, nah, the shit is expensive, and everybody has different budgets and different financial priorities. I know for me, like when I saw that this concert was happening, I had a number in my head. Like, I'm not going over this amount. This is my budget. This is what I feel comfortable paying for. And so if you look for tickets that fit within my budget, right? That's kind of how I approached it. But everybody is different in this, and if you can't go, I know you really want to go, but you can't go because you can't afford it. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because these tickets aren't cheap.
Nothing wrong with that. And also, I mean, for those who feel like they can't afford it, let me tell you all the cons. Sometimes you don't get to see it like you want to see them.
Right.
You can't hear right. The person next to you is annoying you. So there's also cons to being at a concert, especially at a large venue. It's going to take you forever to get to your seat sometimes, or get out of the concert. So there's all different things that you could think about that could prevent you from being there as well. And we'll be like, well, you're saving a lot of not just money, time and energy that goes into doing all that. And yes, while it is great to like be around people who love the artist like you do, sometimes it just is not as much fun as when you're listening to it yourself, or even at a smaller venue. So I think that if you could find a way to be somewhere like at a smaller venue, or your own way of like, even if like you can't go to Renaissance like we did, we went to the bar and they had a whole Renaissance like whatchamacallit night where they just played the music from Renaissance, and you just enjoying it with people. Yeah, just enjoying it with people who love the music just as much as you do. Smaller venue, Beyonce's not there, but I mean, it's a great vibe. So I don't see anything.
It's an alternative.
I understand. And then like you think about, like I think Dami was saying about the ticket prices in like New York and New Jersey being different than the ticket prices in Philly and stuff like that. When you think about all the costs that are involved, it makes sense. I mean, with some people's minimum wages are higher in different states, or you have to meet a certain requirement with payments and stuff. So it does make sense that the cost of tickets or whatever would be higher, to go with the cost of living in those states. So I get that as well. So it is what it is.
Ticketmaster will crumble. Ticketmaster will crumble because it's not even just that. It's the processing fees. It's all those other miscellaneous
all the extra
fees. It's
stuff.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is going on? I wish there was more transparency. And it's like, yes, it is a luxury. Yes, you decide whether you want to go or not. It is what it is. Like, you can either afford it or you can't. But I do feel like for those who are true fans and they feel like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and they can't afford it, I do feel bad for them. I feel like
yeah, exactly.
I wish artists or like labels will have some type of like maybe giveaways or like
they
even
do, they do. It's just sometimes it just, I don't know, the luck of the draw. But I've heard of giveaways.
Like I know they have like tiering, right? Like you know, the lowest prices. I think for Kendrick was like $150, which, you know, in my budget is not horrible. But like those like certain seats where it's like everything's obstructed, that shouldn't need to be half off. Like if you know you could barely see, we know a lot about that. If you know it's not a real seat, or like even offer like, I know it sounds crazy, but like offer seats that's like behind the stage, like people just want to hear it and like have like a screen or something. Like I feel like there's other opportunies where, yes, Live Nation, whoever is running the
then they have to have security back there too. So I don't know.
Yeah. But I feel like there's ways. Like of course, like I know capitalism is always like the biggest thing, the biggest word to throw out. But I think there's ways where those who are true fans like can have that opportunity.
Maybe like those tickets that are on the lower end, like in the, you know, the lower end of the costs. Maybe those were like, they can't be resold. Like once they're sold, they're sold, right? Or if they're resold, they can only be resold at the price that you purchased them. Like if there was a $100 ticket, you could only resell it for $100. Like maybe that would help, right?
Because that would help a lot.
Like why, if people are like in the rafters, they shouldn't be paying, to me personally, they shouldn't be paying more than $100 for a ticket at the most.
I agree.
You know, so maybe something like that, even that would help.
Yeah,
them resellers ain't shit either. Like, I was just looking at, I got my ticket, but I wanted to see like what the reseller options were for the tickets that were available in our section, and they were like, one ticket was like $400. I said, this is ridiculous. I'm like, but you know, it's capitalism. Blame capitalism. Everybody try and make something like, oh, I bought my ticket for $150, but I'm gonna sell it for $400 and make a $250 profit. Like that's literally how they think about it.
Yeah. It's
unfortunate.
It is a game. Yeah.
And that has it's also like, it's Ticketmaster. It feels like a freaking monopoly. There's nobody else. Like, why do we always have to go through the same vendor each time?
Yeah. And also find it interesting, like the shows abroad, they're always way cheaper. Like sometimes just going there, getting a hotel for the weekend, going to the show is still cheaper than
cost of living
to the show.
Different.
And not only that, I believe there's like sanctions on Ticketmaster there where other countries like, no, you cannot overcharge. If you purchase a ticket at this price, you cannot resell it for double the price.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be. So
that's literally how it should be.
Yeah. But best of luck to y'all who've been struggling and, you know, want to see your favorite artists. You know, it's hard. It's hard. But like Mikala said, like Amma said, there's so many other options. A lot of live streaming is happening now, which is great.
Yes, lots of that.
So, you know, thank God for technology.
We saw on FaceTime during the Renaissance concert. I saw so many people on FaceTime with their friends, their mamas and shit. I was like, damn.
I love it.
Everybody came to see the concert.
Right. It's a community.
Right. All right. Well, I'll get to the slept on Saturday. I'm not gonna be long. I ain't gonna hold you. This week slept on. Oh, as a reminder, slept on any song or artist I feel like slept on. Not saying that it wasn't popular and you never heard it. I just feel like it didn't get the recognition it deserved. This week is a song called "Long as I Live" by Toni Braxton.
Great song.
Now, I did Tracy Braxton a couple weeks ago, so I'm doing her sister now. This is the second single from her ninth studio album called Sex and Cigarettes. That was released in 2018. It was written by Tony, Paul Boots, I think. I can't remember. I don't know. And Antonio Dixon, and it was produced by Antonio Dixon as well. But I discovered this song because a video came across my Twitter feed maybe a month or so ago, and it caught my attention because I saw Toni dancing with Tamar and Tawanda in the video, and I was like, girl, what is this? Because if you watch Braxton Family Values, you know that there was a point where her sisters were like, all right, we don't want to be background for you no more. Yep. Like we want to do our own thing, Toni. Like we don't want to be in your shadow. So I was just surprised to see them dancing with her, knowing that history, especially with like Tamar, right? Knowing that she didn't want to be what do they call it? Doo-wop, pop, whatever chick. But they weren't singing, they were just dancing. So maybe that's why. But the song is very, very, very good. And I'm surprised it didn't gain more traction, or maybe it did, and maybe it's just me, which it's probably just me. Because you know, sometimes I be living under a rock with some of the music. This was also during her Birdman era, so maybe I didn't really want to be bothered with Toni. Who knows? But it did win an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Song. It was nominated for 2 Grammys, Best R&B Song and Best R&B Performance, and it went number 1 on the Billboard R&B charts. So I think, it's definitely just me that's.
I'm pretty sure they play it on the radio. I'm pretty sure I've heard it on the radio. Yeah.
See, I think it was just me. So the Slept on Saturday is really for me this week, because I think everybody else knows about the song and that it's good. But again, Toni has been a consistent artist throughout her career, and she still sounds good, and she can still give you a hit. And this, like I said, this is 2018. She's still putting out its hits, still getting nominated for Grammys. So kudos to her, kudos to her production and the songwriters and everything. But I really enjoyed the song. The video was cute as well, having her sisters in it. So yeah, Long As I Live is this week's Slept on Saturday.
I knew a Slept On before you. Wow. That I didn't recommend. Wow. It is a good song. Okay, Gary.
Yeah. Hi, Gary.
Okay, guys. Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of fun to make, as usual. Hit us up on all the things. You already know where to find us. madmusicpodcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Am I missing anything, ladies? TikTok, at Mad Music Podcast. Got a lot of content coming out for you. Got some things that we're working on, more videos and stuff. Thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing. Got our subscribership going up a little bit on the YouTube. So we do appreciate it. If you are new here, new listener, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. If you could do us a favor and review. Did you say you're welcome?
No, I said welcome. Like, welcome.
I thought you said you're welcome. I
said you're welcome.
No. Welcome, guys, to the family, the Mad family.
There you go.
Okay, Beyonce.
Right. I really thought that. I said, "Oh, I'm a wow."
No.
Oh, yes, as Alma said, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do us a favor while you can, and wherever you're listening to the podcast, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or I don't know how you listen on Facebook, but anyway, anywhere you get your podcast. Please give us a rating or Google or anything, review. We would greatly appreciate it. We would love to read it out loud here on the podcast as well, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We want to hear from you guys as usual. Hope everybody has a great week.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody else who's been tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Share. Anything else, ladies?
I just want to, I know you just mentioned it, but just give another big shout out to Mikala for all of the editing and stuff that she's been doing for the podcast, for the live videos, for the little short clips that we have, for these episodes, the audio as well. Just shout out to you. You've really been holding it down this year.
Thank you.
For us, so kudos to Suge Senior.
Yes. Suge Senior.
Oh my God, and they done met all the other Sugs in my life.
For real, in real time.
They sugary.
That's a sugary.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, y'all. It has been a joy to work on this podcast, and we're trying, y'all. We're really trying. So we hope that you guys enjoy this content, and thank you so much for, like we say, tuning in. We're doing our best, so we would love for you guys to continue to watch and see what we got going on. More reels, more all that to come, like we said. All right. Bye.